Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for a Q&A with Southern Gold. Today, I am joined by Southern Gold's newly appointed Exploration Manager, Robert Smiley, who was recently relocated to South Korea to lead the exploration program there. Rob will give us an update on the Southern Gold Exploration Program and some background on his industry experience. Hi, Rob. It's great to see you. Could you please tell us a bit about your background and experience?
Sure. 안녕하세요, Amy. Great to be here and wonderful to share this opportunity with people. Well, I'm a Kiwi geologist by birth. I'm into my fourth decade of mineral exploration. Had a great career. I've worked along the entire mining life cycle from greenfields through to project development and mining. I'm lucky enough to work with a number of different ore bodies and ore styles as well over the years. I cut my teeth with WMC Resources in Kambalda, and that's where I really caught the discovery bug. I worked with some really great people there and really enjoyed that tremendously. And since then, I've gone to work with a number of companies across Asia Pacific in technical and leadership roles, working in different cultures. Really enjoyed that thoroughly. My most recent exploration management experience was in Papua New Guinea. I worked there for about 3 years, was involved in exploration around the Opteti mine. It's a very large porphyry skarn deposit. And I was really fortunate to be working with a team that made probably the most significant discovery outside of the mine in 30 years. And that was a really wonderful experience. And I guess really looking forward to bringing that kind of experience here to Korea. And most recently, prior to joining Southern Gold, I worked for GNS Science, which is New Zealand's premier earth science agency and consultancy. And I worked in the minerals group and lucky enough also to work in the geothermal space, also across the way here in Japan, and getting exposure to those kinds of systems that are happening today and really relevant for the kind of exploration that we're doing here in Korea.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rob. So you recently moved to South Korea for the exploration manager role. That's a big commitment. Can you please explain your experience in country so far?
Oh, look, Amy, it's been a really wonderful time. Everyone's been incredibly welcoming and it's a fantastic culture to work in. It's a really great place to work. I'm enjoying it tremendously. I think probably the main thing, I'm just blown away by the mineral prospectivity of the country. It's got, for example, the active underground mines, sorts of deposits that we're searching for at the moment. I was lucky enough to go underground back in December and see those kinds of mines firsthand. I mean, they're small, but they're the kind of things that we're looking for. And going around the countryside, there's just numerous old workings everywhere from last century. These are the kinds of deposits that probably would be drilled in some place like Australia, but they're totally untouched and really, from an exploration point of view, underdeveloped. And so the best place to find a mine is near a mine. So seeing these kinds of deposits unpegged and undrilled is incredibly exciting. And combined with that, we have the right geology for what we're after. So all those things mean it's just huge prospectivity. And I suppose linked to that as well, there's no one else really in the country that's doing the exploration that we're doing. We have this kind of first move advantage. We have the whole country to ourselves. So all in all, it's just a fantastic opportunity to be here and be part of that discovery journey.
Sounds exciting. Thanks, Rob. Can you tell us more about the team's exploration capabilities?
We've got excellent capability, Amy, right from the top down from the board. Technical director, non-executive director, Doug Kerwin, who sits on the board, had this great experience here back in the 1990s, was involved in some of the original discoveries, and having someone like Doug on board is just tremendous. He has that depth of understanding of the geology of the country, and as I say, being involved with those early discoveries is just invaluable for us in terms of providing us with additional guidance for the exploration that we're doing and that great leadership. In addition to Doug, we have Craig Panther, who's our lead consultant, a fellow Kiwi based out of New Zealand, who's doing a lot of our targeting work. Craig worked with Doug back in the 90s and also has been involved in discovery and working up deposits here. So again, with his knowledge of the geology of the country and his expertise, it's a very powerful technical leadership team for us here on the ground. Of course, we have a great Korean team, a fantastic team of Korean geologists. They're a wonderful crew of people, variety of experience, some quite senior people, and we brought on some graduates recently, but very enthusiastic field geologists, have a really great knowledge of the geology of the country. And really, they're the engine room of the program that keep things going. And it's just a real privilege to be leading them and working with them. In addition to the team, of course, we've gone on quite a large recruiting drive to lift the capability of the team. We've brought in Very lucky to have brought in Scott Randall, formerly of Oceana Gold, into the team as our chief geologist. Scott's got great experience. He's worked with Anglo Gold in China and Australia. He's worked with Eldorado Gold over in the Balkans and Greece as well. He's got just the right experience that we need. His most recent success was working with Oceana Gold in New Zealand, and was involved in planning the discovery holes for that WKP epithermal deposit, which is well over 1 million ounces now. So he's got fantastic pedigree, and we're really fortunate to have someone with him on the team with the sort of expertise for deposits that we're looking at. We've also brought on board recently another consultant, Nick Tate, who probably needs no introduction. He's really the geologist. He's got considerable field experience. He's got a lot of experience in Laos. He's got a lot of discoveries under his belt. He's a great teacher and mentor for our staff, and he's well known on the internet. He's a YouTube sensation with his Geomap YouTube stuff. It's really quite brilliant. Great teacher, fantastic guy. And lastly, Tosi Santosa, we've recruited from Indonesia, again, experience from Ivanhoe, 20 years experience plus. He's here to help manage our data, and great field experience in Australia and elsewhere throughout Asia. So really, we've effectively doubled our team size. So our capability has really increased 100% just in the last few months. So we really have a really fantastic and highly capable exploration team.
Thanks, Rob. Sounds like you've got a great team over there. And can you tell us about Southern Gold's exploration strategy?
Well, it's a geology-driven program targeting epithermal gold silver deposits. These are great deposits because they have potential for very high bonanza grades, so they can end up being highly profitable mines. But that said, we're also targeting potential other deposits as well, intrusive-hosted porphyries and skarns that we know exist here. But our main reason really is focusing on those epithermal gold deposits. These deposits are Cretaceous in age. So we're targeting 4 Cretaceous age stations in South Korea here. And these are the areas that host our existing projects at the moment. So we're really looking at actually building up our exploration portfolio for drilling. The last winter months, we spent a great deal of time pulling together a huge amount of data for a fresh new batch of targets that we're doing reconnaissance work on at the moment. We brought this target and this information far and wide, all sorts of different sources, open file from our own databases, geology, geophysics, geochemistry, a wide range of data, including land information data that our community relations team brought together that allows us to get a much better idea very early on in the program, the sort of land that is available for exploration and mining rather than finding out a bit later in the day. So that's been a really powerful data set. And with that information, Craig Panther's done some fantastic targeting work using a mineral systems approach, using the geology to focus where we can go and do some fantastic reconnaissance work. And now it's the post-winter time, so it's a great time to get out there. We've got a major campaign of field work going on right now at the moment as we speak. In fact, I just came out of the field this morning visiting the guys in the field. It's going extremely well. We've got multiple teams out there now because of the number of staff. We can really hit these targets really hard, and we can really get around and access these things and see how they are on the ground. The great thing here about Korea is just the amazing infrastructure. It's so easy to get around the country. It's about the size of the eastern goldfields of Western Australia, but it's just a fantastic network of highways and bridges and tunnels and viaducts and ferries. So that really enables us to get around all these targets quite quickly and assess them, dismiss the ones that aren't up to par, and the ones that do look really encouraging, as I've been seeing over the last few days. That'll give us the opportunity to go back and start working them up through detailed geological mapping and more sampling to bring them to drill ready stage. So it's just really fantastic, really high quality targets, and the work's just going so well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that explanation. It sounds like there are some exciting opportunities for Southern Gold. So thank you so much for joining us today, Rob. Do you have any closing remarks?
Well, look, thanks, Amy, for the opportunity to talk to people today. Look, just to say that, you know, we now have a highly capable team here in country, highly motivated. They're getting out there in the field, they're hitting these targets, and we're finding some really interesting things, great targets that we're working up. Really great to have great support from the board. They're behind the program, you know, 100%, which is just great. And exploration's a marathon, not a sprint. And we certainly, you know, appreciate, you know, the patience of a lot of our investors, but we're highly confident that we're on the right track to making some great discoveries, and we're looking forward to sharing, some really exciting news with people in the very near future. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob.